Much. It's great to be with Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, and his representatives. Obviously, we have much to discuss. The Prime Minister was just thanking me again for what we did in Jerusalem with respect to the embassy. That's been something that I guess was controversial, but it's turned out to be very positive in many ways, and a lot of progress is being made in many other areas. We're talking trade, we're talking military, we're talking defense, and we are very much in favor of what Israel is doing as far as their defense is concerned. They're aggressive, and they have no choice but to be aggressive. It's a very difficult part of the world, so I just want to let Benjamin, let all of the people know, let Bibi know that we are with you, we are with Israel 100%. Thank you, Bibi. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. President, when are you going to present your peace plan?
Excuse me.
Mr. President Donald, thank you. And this is a manifold thank you. First, thank you for your strong words yesterday in the General Assembly against the corrupt terrorist regime in Iran. You back up your strong words with strong actions. And I think the fact that you have brought American sanctions to bear has cut the cash machine of Iran and its campaign of carnage and conquest in the Middle East. And we who live in the Middle East, Israelis and Arabs, who are subject to this Iranian danger, I want to thank you especially. Secondly, I want to thank you for the extraordinary support that you have shown for Israel in this building, in the UN. No one has backed Israel like you do, and we appreciate it. Third, this is the first time that we meet after the American embassy has been moved to Jerusalem.
That's right.
You've changed history, and you've touched our hearts. And fourth, last, I want to say how much I appreciate your robust defense of Israel's right of self-defense, which you just expressed. I think everybody should understand that Israel will continue to do what is necessary to defend ourselves against Iranian aggression in Syria, in Lebanon, anywhere else. And I want to say also that we have no doubt that as we do so, we'll enjoy the support of President Donald Trump and the United States of America. I think, and I say this objectively, that the American-Israeli alliance has never been stronger. It's stronger than ever before under your leadership. And I look forward to working with you and your team to advance our common interests, security, prosperity, and peace with Israel's neighbors and for the region. And we can do it with you.
Mr. President, when are you going to present your peace plan?
Mr. President, can you tell us what
We're
you
working along on that. It's, I think, moving very well. There's nothing I would rather do than see peace between Israel and the Palestinians. I think lots of good things are happening. It will take a little time, as you know. It's taken plenty of time, many decades, and nothing's happened. But a lot of good things are happening. Actually, by taking off the table the embassy moving to Jerusalem, that was always the primary ingredient as to why deals couldn't get done. I spoke to many of the negotiating teams, and they said they could never get past the embassy moving into Jerusalem and all of what that meant, which you know what that meant. That meant everything. And now that's off the table. Now that will also mean that Israel will have to do something that will be good for the other side. We're working on deals. I think that I really believe something will happen. They say it's the toughest of all deals. When they talk about tough deals, they always say Israel and the Palestinians. That's the toughest of all deals. It is a dream of mine to be able to get that done prior to the end of my first term. I don't want to do it in my second term. We'll do other things in my second term. But during this period of time, and I can say that I think a lot of progress has been made. I think that Israel wants to do something, and I think that the Palestinians actually want to do something. A lot of progress has been made. So the time is moving, and that will move, and I think it'll start moving pretty soon, pretty rapidly. Thank you.
Mr. President, are you going to talk with Israel will have to pay now?
Are you going to talk with Mr. Putin about the tension between Israel and Russia?
I will talk if it's appropriate, when it's appropriate. Yes, I would do that.
Mr. President, when you said that Israel will have to pay now after having the embassy moved, what do you mean?
Well, that's a big chip that they got. I took probably the biggest chip off the table. And so obviously we have to start, we have to make a fair deal. We have to do something. Deals have to be good for both parties. Otherwise, you don't have a deal and you don't have a lasting deal. So something will have to be done, but that's a very big chip. Israel got the first chip, and it's a big one. There's no question about it.
Mr. President, what's your position about the Russian the missiles the Russians are giving to Syria?
Well, I haven't heard this. We were just discussing it 2 minutes ago, and we'll make a determination. We'll find out about that.
Sir, do you think it'll be a number of, sir, Mr. President?
The Palestinians, will they come back to the table?
Absolutely. 100%. As you know, we were paying them $550 million a year. Now we're paying them nothing a year because we were, for years and years, we were being abused by the leadership of the Palestinians and giving them all of this money. So now we're not. But that will start up again, and it'll start up. I look forward to it because they use it for some purposes that are good and some purposes that are not good and not acceptable. So yeah, they're absolutely coming back to the table, and they want to come back to the table.
Mr. President, are you going to abide by the two-state solution? Will your plan include a two-state solution?
I like two-state solution.
Yes.
I like two-state.
So your plan is going to say two-state
You
solution?
just heard me, right? Okay, so that's enough questions from you, is that all right?
Mr. President, are you going to say something about Jerusalem if you support two-state solution? Are you going to say something
I
about the
like
sovereignty?
two-state solution, yeah.
Mr.
That's,
President, what
that's
do you
what I
think
think,
Jerusalem?
that's what I think works best. I don't even have to speak to anybody, that's my feeling. Now, you may have a different feeling, I don't think so, but I think two-state solution works best. Yes, go ahead.
Why are the Europeans bypassing U.S. sanctions on Iran? What do you make of that?
I think the Europeans will behave very nicely, very nicely. Just watch.
Are you upset by the move they've taken?
No, I'm not upset by anything. I don't get upset.
Would you want to see a new deal negotiated with
Okay,
Iran?
yes, please, go ahead.
Sir, could I ask you, do you think you'll be releasing the peace plan in a matter of weeks, months? Could you give us some sort of time frame?
We'll have something. We have something very much in mind. It's moving along really well. I want to have a plan, Steve, that is solid, understood by both sides, really semi-agreed to by both sides before we start a negotiation.
Yes, sir.
I would say over the next 2 to 3 to 4 months, something like that. That would be the time that I'd like to at least release the plan. It is a very complex situation, but I think we have some brilliant ideas. Ideas that have never been thought of before, ideas that are good for both parties. And again, it has to be good for both parties. Okay? Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Also,
Thank you, Brett.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brett.